Welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know what's going on with Stream Deck. It just always seems to freeze at that moment, specifically. It makes no sense. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a wonderful day, whether you're watching this later on, tomorrow, a week from now. I hope you're having a good time. My name is Todd. This is the Todd Reacts live stream, reaction live stream. I do gaming streams now as well. I've been doing them on Twitch here for a while, but started a new YouTube channel, Todd Reacts Plays. That is where the gaming streams will be live on YouTube as well. It'll be multi-streamed to Twitch and YouTube. So go follow that new channel, subscribe, etc. I have the video for Saturday now posted, live upcoming live stream for Life is Strange Episode 2. Episode 1 was very fun. I'm basically playing it as if I was in the situation, so I'm trying to give an honest approach to it. I guess you could kind of play it any way you want, but I guess I'm playing it as if I am Max. So we got a couple great videos today. Hey, what's up, Luke? Actually went on my PC to mod this time, so hopefully no autocorrecting Brad Pitt to Brad Pratt. Yes. That was very funny, by the way. And all the times it was like auto-correcting as you were trying to correct it. Oh my gosh. Been there, done that. There is a large generator outside. I had to put on a noise gate, so I do have to talk kind of like this volume throughout the entire time. Like I can't whisper. If I whisper, you're not going to hear it. So it literally mutes. So I do have to talk this kind of volume the entire least. I have no idea what they're doing. Looks like they're somewhat like cleaning out an apartment or something. I don't know. But that's apartment life. Lots of noise, regardless. But thankfully, I don't have the microphone I originally had, which was very bad. Very bad quality. It just accepted all noise and from all times in all locations. It was so bad. If you watch the original videos on the YouTube channel, you'll get what I'm getting at there. It was actually recording like the refrigerator sound. How open it was. And even when I tried to put on like a noise gate or something, it would be so choppy to the point where as soon as I stopped talking, you'd hear like a sh sound and it would just, it just sound terrible. I watched the movie Blockers last night. I don't know if you've seen it with John Cena. Right. At first, I was just like, I don't know about John Cena being an actor. I really don't. He's you know what's amazing is the fact that in the 80s, Arnold Schwarzenegger had such a tough time getting into acting because everyone was just saying, you're too big, man. You're too big. What are you? You're like a bodybuilder. That's just, you're never going to fit in any role because you're just massive. So he had to lose like 50 pounds or something like that, 60 pounds to become an actor. Looking at John Cena, you're just like, oh, come on, man. Dude is ridiculous. Roided out of his mind. And, but there seems to be this unbelievable transition from wrestling, professional wrestling, WWE to acting, and it works. Because they're actors. They're physical actors. Very much in the realm of Abbott and Costello in a way, if you want to go all the way back. And you got to be believable if you're, of course, a lot of it's overacting in professional wrestling, WWE. But for some reason, sometimes it works. And with The Rock or Dwayne Johnson, John Cena, apparently, yeah, it's working. It's working. It's a funny movie. Obviously, the best part of that movie is the butt chug. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go check it out. It's very funny. Volume is good. Sounds normal. Excellent. Excellent. We have a collective group of videos. I think I've only reacted to 3 of these shows, maybe once or twice. So this is going to be very interesting. I have a bunch of information pulled up. Shout out to Jace and obviously Luke here. We're pulling up some links to go over and kind of learn more, and we all learn together kind of situation. Revolution, SPRINA, This Is Us, Schitt's Creek. I wonder if YouTube's going to be like, what'd you just say? Killjoys. It should be an interesting group. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. Go ahead and follow the Twitch channel if you're here. Twitch.tv/Todd Reacts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Todd Reacts. Like the video if you like it. Throw on the notification bell. That way you know when videos post, because this does get uploaded later. This reaction live stream will be a live stream later on, as soon as I get into a normal schedule of this. John Cena, The Rock are big examples. Then you got the reverse when influencers become wrestlers like Logan Paul. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know. The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight coming up made me think of it. That is 100% staged. It's got to be. I mean, Mike Tyson's what, almost 60 years old at this point, and Jake Paul is 20-something-year-old. 16-ounce gloves, so they got the bigger sparring gloves. Yeah, there's no way. 2-minute rounds. I'm trying to remember the rules. And the only way you can win is by knockout. It's like, come on, man. Definitely feels like clout chasing. Yeah, absolutely. Now, that being said, I am kind of interested. As ridiculous as it is, I still am interested in it. I don't know why. I guess it's the spectacle. I'm caught up in the spectacle. I just want to see Mike Tyson knock him out. Just please, please. Oh, it'd be so beautiful. If we could go back 20 years, Mike Tyson, 40 years old, even late 30s, it would just be beautiful. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it would make my day to see it happen. Absolutely. Oh, it'd be perfect. Oh. Chef's kiss. Oh my gosh. Will I buy the pay-per-view? Absolutely not. Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. I will not support that nonsense. But I am interested to find out what happens. Yeah, let's start with Revolution. What is the title of this? Miles and Bass. I'm assuming it's Bass. Hurts Like Hell. The show Revolution. Let's go ahead and load this up.
What were they like together? They were best friends.
Netflix is showing that fight? Oh my gosh.
All the years, choosing to have faith in him right now. All the times I was in trouble, you never left my side. You never ran.
Bass, give me the gun. Before you do something stupid.
If you're dying, I'm dying with you.
I loved and I loved and I lost you. I loved and I loved.
I did that for you. Everything I have ever done was for you. Miles! Shake my hand. Say goodbye. Bass, you gotta go.
Well, I'll say this about it. At least with Netflix showing it, it's guaranteed to have a big audience. Unless it's pay-per-view via Netflix. Is that a thing they're starting? Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be interesting? A subscription service that now requires a pay-per-view.
Forget it. Don't argue with me.
What are you gonna do if you see Miles?
What do you mean?
Standing orders have always been to bring him in alive. I'm just wondering why that is.
It's for both our names, Monroe and Matheson.
Or start using swords. We'll be like pirates.
Appreciate it, Luke.
I think the way we handle this is you let me kill Miles. I can do this.
You think I can't?
Run,
Okay,
guys.
so obviously Miles
I said run.
and Bass go way back. And they
What the
were
hell would I be without you?
fighting against each other for a period of time.
I'm trusting you.
You tried to kill me once before. And you couldn't pull the trigger. You look tired, brother. I am tired.
Bess, what if Monroe's on her way? What if I gotta go face to face with him? What then?
Hey, Bess. Miles? I got nothing left.
Oh, you got me.
I asked for you.
What do you want, Bess?
I'm not gonna hurt you, Miles.
My family.
Absolutely.
My problem.
And you're my family. That makes it my problem. Everyone else wants me to go to hell. Not you.
This is such an interesting storyline.
Are nothing to me.
Childhood friends who become basically
good times.
enemies, but there's still this like
Yeah, we did.
closeness to them.
Turn it over.
We're still brothers. That's never gonna change.
I loved and I loved and I lost you.
Look at you. You're happy to see me.
What?
Because Miles trusted me.
I loved and
That means something to me.
I loved you. And it hurt.
You're my best friend.
Okay.
Even after you tried to kill me. That's a good friendship there. The fact that they lasted even through all that nonsense. But it's not surprising in a post-apocalyptic world that, you know, relationships would get crazy. I love story arcs when enemies and heroes have some respect. It's rare, but when it's done well, it's great. I agree. I very much agree. Great edit. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some love. Yeah, I love that. I love the fact that after the blackout, they really shook things up, right? Makes sense. There would become marauding gangs, factions, and very much like, I don't even know if I want to make this analogy. Very much like in the Civil War in the U.S., it was brother against brother, family against family. It literally divided on very small grounds. And it's not surprising a big event like that would also have that effect. Barry from The Flash and Captain Cold is a good example of a criminal turned ally. Yeah, sometimes that can work really well. Enemies to allies because they realize they have a greater enemy and they got to fight against them because there's no way they're going to take them on their own. Go ahead and bring this. So just a quick overview of Revolution. Short-lived, that's unfortunate. Post-apocalyptic drama on NBC. Takes place a decade and a half after the blackout in 2027. Boy, that's close. When electricity is disabled and society is wrecked. That is not surprising. It would get wrecked. I mean, if you think about it, all the food supply, clean water, like all that just ceases to exist. Band of survivors work together to bring back the world to its former glory. Is it even possible to bring it back to its former glory? I don't know. You're literally going back from before the Industrial Revolution all the way back. I guess maybe because all the technology is there. You just have to build up the back end of it, electricity, etc. Snart learned Barry's identity and didn't reveal it to anyone, even if they were at odds. He didn't even tell other villains and didn't even tell his own sister. That was always one of Barry's... That's awesome. Very much reminds me of in The Dark Knight, the Joker and Batman. Joker basically just says, you need me and I need you, and, you know, I don't want to kill you. That famous line. I don't want to kill you, I need you. Whatever he said. All right, let's find out a little bit more about Miles real quick. Former Marine and warrior who has been living in a reclusive life in Chicago. Former commanding general of the militia, brother of Ben. Let's see. Post blackout. Decided to leave Paris Island, which is a base, if you're wondering, U.S. Marines. Informs Monroe of his intentions to find his brother and his family, as he surmises that no orders are coming from the government as to what the military is to do. 1,000-mile journey to Chicago. That is one thing maybe a lot of people outside the U.S. doesn't realize. But the U.S. is huge. To go from some city to some city is a lot of time. A heck of a long distance. 6 months after the blackout, Miles and Monroe are venturing up road in an unknown part of the country. It is unknown if they had made it to Chicago by this time or if they were still en route there. Happened upon a couple that was murdered by scavengers looking for food. Yeah, that would happen a lot. You would definitely need some sort of defense. I'll definitely request a video of Snartberry at some point. This edit we just watched really gave me that vibe. Nice. Yeah, it is a good vibe. I like that. Miles despairs about how quickly the country went to ruin. That's not surprising. That's not. Look at the toilet paper. The run on toilet paper during COVID. I mean, come on now. People were freaking out over toilet paper. I'm going to have to use a towel. Ah! I don't have a bidet. Ah! Oh my gosh. Those videos. Oh my gosh. It's like watching the craziest thing. Sometimes I go back on YouTube and just kind of watch some of those videos and go, what were we thinking there? What was that the only item that was gonna, go out of existence when the supply train dried up? Miles draws his gun and shoots both of the scavengers, supporting his actions by stating that with no law enforcement or jails, someone has to do something. Miles and Monroe take the man they rescued along with them. Yeah, at that point, it's vigilante justice, honestly. Then again, that's not a great way to rebuild the world. I think that person's doing wrong. Bang. But then again, what do? Tie him up and just leave him? Can't carry him with you. That's crazy. Let's see. Miles and Monroe formed the Monroe Republic. Commanding General, 7 years after the blackout, ordered Rachel to abandon her husband and children and become a prisoner of the militia. What? At some point, he earned the nickname the Butcher of Baltimore. Yikes. 11 years, he abandoned the Republic, but not before trying to kill his old friend Sebastian. Oh my gosh. He was unable to pull the trigger. He was able to walk directly into Monroe's office, past every sentry and guard in Independence Hall unopposed. When he left the city, gate guard opened the city gate for him. Before this, he had held secret meetings with his co-conspirators in the back room of a brothel. His actions caused him to be deemed a terrorist and traitor to the Republic, and many died in the purges that followed. Militia offered 25 pounds of gold, or 500,000 militia trade dollars, for his capture, but only if he was brought in alive. That's crazy. I love that. That is a fantastic storyline. He was going to pull the trigger and didn't, and then he just left, and now he's hunted. Ooh. Sebastian. De facto dictator. Yeah, that sounds about right. Was friends with Miles since childhood. Yep, we picked that up in the video. Both enlisted in the Marines. Eight weeks after the blackout, he announces that he's leaving the base and going to Chicago. With Miles, only family he had left. They took handguns from the base. Walked from Paris Island to Chicago. They walked 1,000 miles. Good grief. Miles felt that Monroe's lust for power was undermining his ability to govern the Republic and attempted to off him, but he was unable to pull the trigger. Yikes. Drunken and depressed General summoned Tom Neville to his office in Philadelphia and tasked him with hunting down those responsible for helping Miles. Bass remarked how there was a part of him that wished Miles had pulled the trigger, yikes, and insists that Miles cannot be hunted down, and he is not an ordinary man but the creator of the militia. Around this time, rumors began to circulate that Monroe had gone mad with power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely, as they say. I love how they're trying to rebuild society and they just make a dictatorship. But I guess that's kind of the norm on average for the world. That is hilarious. Good grief. Oh my gosh. Ay, that's not good. They're just like, let's rebuild the world. One person has all the power. Next on the list, that does seem like a very interesting show, doesn't it? Good grief. That's a shame it was short-lived because it seems like such an interesting. Next on the list is The Greatest Thing, Spencer Cassadine, I think. SPRINA video from General Hospital. You've seen it, you know it, you love it. Go ahead and jump into it. What is this?
A very strange, enchanted boy. They said he wandered very far, very far, over land and sea.
Right off the bat, you can see the difference in set budget from Emmerdale and General Hospital. That is unbelievable.
And then one day, a magic day, he passed my way. And while we spoke of many things, fools and kings, this he said to me.
You won't like him when he's angry.
Greatest thing you'll ever learn is just to love and be loved in return.
What is this song right now?
There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy.
I feel like we're in a club scene in John Wick. Just reloading. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. Definitely feel like you're in a club 10 years ago, for sure. Whoa! I'm amped. I'm pumped. Holy crap. Wow. I am, that was, good morning. Good morning. I'm awake. That was very interesting. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some love. Excellent song choice, by the way. Excellent. Oh my gosh. A very special boy indeed, Spencer. Seems like he is meant for, I don't want to say more, but you know what I mean. More. Just from what I've seen so far, honestly, he kind of gives Clark Kent vibes. Like, he could probably do, like, Superman, you know? Maybe not in a movie, but maybe TV series or something. Like, he could easily replace Dean Cain as, like, a Superman, TV Superman. That'd be very interesting. I don't know. That just... I'm getting that kind of vibe. He's got the muscles. He could put on some more muscles, you know. Actors these days have probably no problem taking steroids, say. He's got the height, got the build. He's, you know, tall, dark, and handsome kind of thing. He could probably pull it off. Not surprising. Trina fell for him. A good-looking dude, for sure. That song. Oh my gosh. Very much. I said it and I fully believe it. That could have been in like John Wick and it would have been hilarious, you know, very special boy or whatever, but the feel of the song was very much like a club scene where he's just murking like 100 dudes. Oh my gosh. True love. Love is hard to find, but we're looking for it wherever we can. That is an interesting... I'm not getting into AI girlfriends again. I'm not going to do it. It is a crazy topic of, you know, of late, but I'm not doing it. I'm not going to do it. Not doing it. Shouldn't exist. It is a plague on the world. Definitely shouldn't exist. That being said, it is difficult to find love in today's world, which is weird because we're more connected than ever. But maybe that's the biggest downfall of it. Seems like Spencer and Trina met in person, which is always a good way to go. Sometimes that can be difficult, even though we're out and about. I don't know. People tend to shy away from public interaction, what I can find. But then again, the online route is just horrendous. Tinder is like, what, 70% male, 30% female or something like that? It is. The odds are stacked against pretty much everybody. If you're, you know, a female, you're just swimming in choices. And if you're a male, you're just throwing something against the wall. You know, throwing spaghetti against the wall, just hoping it sticks. But yeah, it has been eye-opening, to say the least, how society is kind of, I don't know, broken down. Is that a good word? Good way to describe it? Like, relationships are just not as well thought of anymore. Situationships are kind of the rage right now, which is depressing. Bring back romance, damn it. Bring back romance. Proclaiming, there we go. Proclaiming love. You know, public displays of affection. Not too much. Not too much. But, you know, something. It's just, it's kind of sad, which is why maybe this kind of content is more, I don't know, it's more appreciated this day and age, where it's more rare to find. Maybe we're all escaping into it. I know I kind of am. When I think of, you know, love and romance, I think of The Notebook, which is totally unattainable. But it's sweet. It's adorable. It's, you know, it's nice. And it's not something I've, you know, easily found in my life, which is just sad. It should be easy to find. It should be one of the main things that keeps humans humaning and going. But it is, boy, it is a zoo out there. It's not fun. Hopefully you've had better luck than myself, or, you know, the crazy percentage of single people. What is the percentage? It's like in 2050, they're expecting half of all marriageable age. You know, I don't know what the age range is. It's like 20 or no, 18 to, no, it's 20 to 35 or something like that. Half of all the female population to be single and childless. And I'm just like, does anybody notice that's on the rise? Is that an issue with anybody, or are we just cool with it? We're just going with it? One of the reasons Bridgerton is so loved, there's 8 siblings, meaning there's 8 different styles of love, but one thing is common, it's true love. Yeah, I think we're all kind of escaping into romantic literature, movies, TV shows, just because it is a interesting world out there where you don't find it as much. I'm trying to think. Aren't situationships just what we used to call flings? A fling? So I think the terms are changing, but I don't think reality is changing. But one thing is for sure, the numbers of people single are going up, for sure. And birth rates are going down in almost every country. So something is awry. Something's going on, which is literally the extinction of the human race. Is anybody talking about it? I don't know. I have no idea. But it seems like something we should probably be talking about. It's like it proper understands what love is and people desire that, but times are changing and people are questioning things. Yeah, flings or situationships, I think, at least in my knowledge. Yeah, I think so. I think it was just a term change based on generations. But, yeah, we all know what love is. We all know what love is. You know, maybe the increase in divorces over the years kind of gave people a warped look at love, or maybe marriages weren't what they used to be or something. I don't know. But somewhere along the line, people just got a very negative interaction with love, or a negative showcasing of love. But we all know what it's meant to be, what it's supposed to be. You know, from content, movies, TV shows, maybe a neighboring family, maybe a friend's family, whatever. We all know what it's supposed to be, but why is it so hard to find? Why? Why? Kind of sad, but I don't know. We're in a brave new world right now. Technology is bringing us closer together and also driving us apart. Very interesting. Now, we've never been more connected to information, but we've also never been more disconnected from each other. It's weird. It's very strange. Try not to think about it because it is very depressing, but it's got to be thought about. It's got to be talked about. Something is happening. Something is definitely happening, and it's not for the best, I think. Ay. So I'm happy for Spencer and Trina. They found true love. It is a wonderful thing when it's found. It just adds another element to life. Certainly, it's everyone's personal choice, whether they want to have a spouse or whether they want to have kids, whatever. But I do think it's a net positive when it's something good, when it's, what it's meant to be. It adds another fold to the onion, if you will, another layer to the onion. All I keep thinking of is the fact that most people certainly people my age, it's very much like work, go home, maybe a travel or do something kind of interesting every once in a while, and then that's it. Work, go home, do something interesting, whatever. Maybe they're glued to their phone or something, and it's just like, ugh. There's got to be more than this. There's got to be more than this. But then again, the world is becoming very expensive. I don't know how many people are traveling too much. Although I see a bunch of Instagrams of travelers, professional travelers. I'm just like, how? What is happening? How did you beat the system? There's that meme or whatever, your unemployed friend on a Tuesday, and it's them like paragliding. Oh my gosh. I do love these Spencer and Trina videos because it kind of gives me that escape. You know? It gives me the escape, the illusion, the good feelings that come along with seeing love. I think that's true. If you're not surrounded by love, chances are you're not going to find it because you don't know what good love is. You know, from shows and stuff like that, but you've never seen it in action. You know, real life, which is very different. So, pick the people you have around you wisely. That is the moral of that story. Pick the people you have around you wisely. Next video on the list, now that I've brought the mood down completely. It's all going to work out. We're all going to find love, and it's going to be beautiful and sweet and, you know, fascinating. Next video is... I would probably never watch General Hospital, but I understand why people love Spencer and Trina. They seem to be the heart of the show. Absolutely. Yeah, they do. Literally, the ratings go up and down whether they're on it or not. And then the writers found out, or the showrunners found out. So they started introducing other couples into their episodes to try to boost the other people as well. Which is interesting. That's an interesting tactic. I don't know if the fans of SPRINA actually enjoy that, but probably not. Next video is Kevin and Randall Brother. And this is from the show This Is Us. I think I've only done one video on This Is Us, so this will be interesting. Go ahead and jump in. That generator is still going, by the way, and it's all I hear. So I had to boost the audio like crazy in my ear. Literally right outside my window.
I was not a very good brother to you, was I?
No, you weren't.
But you still got time.
No,
This
it
Is Us is
doesn't matter.
incredible. I watched it and cried multiple times. Wow, that's
have to be there for
it's
one
effective.
another.
No, I just couldn't imagine you and Kevin hanging out.
But the guy lives in our house, Brad. We hang out all the time.
Yeah, but you guys are never in the same room alone together.
You done. You said get out.
Hey, Randall. You wanna hang out down here for a little bit with me?
Beautiful show. It's powerful. I can't wait to read more about it, which we will be doing.
You treated me like a dog. And just like a dog, I kept coming back again and again, just hoping for a scrap from you. Like a crumb of affection, kindness, respect.
Respect? You wanted
Also,
my respect?
Justin Hartley is hot, so it
You
helps.
wanted to show me up, Randall, which is what you did every single chance you got. You showed me up.
Why does he hate me so
I've seen him before. What was he in?
Kevin doesn't hate you.
I'm trying to.
You guys
It's
are just
been driving me
so
nuts.
intense with each other, you know?
Saying where you go, brother.
Come here, little brother.
He was in Smallville. Holy crap. That's what I remember him from.
Well, let's go. Yeah, I'm still black and white. Let's go. What?
Just admit that you were more important to her, and that she wanted to make sure that you felt special every single minute of every single day, so that you wouldn't feel like the odd man out.
Gee, Kevin, I wonder why she was worried about me feeling nothing. It's my brother.
Go back there with those people. It's the first time in 36 years you've said the words, he's my brother.
Wait, no, that can't be.
Claiming me. My brother.
And that really sucks.
Yeah, he was Oliver Queen in Smallville. Oh my gosh. I haven't seen that in years. And I still recognized his face. Damn, that's what it's all about right there. Having somebody you can rely on and somebody that's there for you when you're at your lowest, that is beautiful. Gosh. Link down below in the YouTube description when this is uploaded for the original video. Go throw it some much-deserved love. That was a beautiful edit. This show is about 3 siblings and their parents. It's a journey. The story takes place in 3 timelines: future when they are adults, the past when they're kids, and when the parents met. That's wonderful. That is beautiful. I like that. Kind of gives you the full picture of everything going on, everything you need to know. That is, yeah, that's amazing. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's important to have people in your life that you can rely on when the cards are down, as they say. You know, I've always had that with family members, and I've moved around a lot, so I haven't had a lot of long-term friends. Certainly, it's easier to keep in touch with people with the internet, and that was part of my growing up. I got introduced to the internet probably in like 5th grade or something when I was a kid. But yeah, it's still difficult. It's still difficult. You got to make a conscientious effort to really keep up. But when you're not in the day-to-day, or at least experiencing shared experiences, I find it very difficult to keep those going. Because you kind of lose track of what to talk about. Eventually, you talked about everything, and you're just like, so, how's the weather? And you go back to small talk, and you're just like, ooh, this kind of lost its flair, if you will. You got to share experiences, which is why I'm, such a big proponent of, if you are friends with somebody online, you should probably meet them. Probably meet them. If you're in a online relationship, you definitely have to meet them. You definitely have to meet them early and often, and eventually move together somewhere. Whether it's where you are, whether it's where they are, whether it's a new location for both of you, you gotta close the gap. If you're not closing the gap, you will lose connection for sure. Obviously, it depends on how long you've been talking to the person, but eventually it will run dry, I think. Let's go ahead and bring up information on This Is Us. This Is Us, American drama television series, 2016 to 2022. Randall is trying to live up to his father and raise his own family and make his father proud after his father's death. And Kevin is trying to own up for past mistakes and do better as a human being. Interesting. Boy, those are 2 very different life paths. And be a better brother. Yeah, living up to his father and raise his own family, that is... Hey, how do I think of that? I'm under the impression that you don't have to live up to anybody, because they should love you regardless how you turn out. Hopefully it's for the best. Hopefully it's, the thing, that's been said for many years is as long as the next generation leaves it better for their children, or their kids are more successful than they are. But obviously, if your parent is more really successful, it's going to be very difficult to live up to that. And there will be disappointment. But you got to get over that. It's very hard to be super successful in whatever, whether that's a career or a family, etc. There's many factors that go into it. You just have to kind of, be okay with wherever you are. And yes, you can push for better, but you shouldn't let it bring you down at all. Series follows the lives and families of 2 parents and their 3 children in several different time frames. I love that concept. As I said, it really rounds out the characters. 6 seasons. Honestly, if you make it 6 seasons, that is a success as far as I'm concerned. Oh my gosh, I have a generator and a lawn crew that just showed up. Come on now. Then you got the 3rd kid, Kate, who is trying to live up to her mother's expectations because her mother looked like a perfect model in her eyes with beauty. She has an eating disorder and struggles with her body image, as well as her story of being a mother herself. Yikes. Yeah, living up to your parents and expectations, that's not good. Obviously, it's not good. Gotta just be comfortable in your own life. It's your life, right? It's nobody else's. And as much pressure as your parents may put on you, it's not their life either. In January 2017, renewed the series for 2 additional seasons. All right. Series follows the lives of siblings Kevin, Kate, and Randall, known as the Big Three, and their parents Jack and Rebekah. Takes place mainly in the present, but uses flashbacks and flash forwards to show other significant moments in the family's history. I love that. Kevin and Kate are the 2 surviving members of triplets. Wow. Born 6 weeks premature on Jack's 36th birthday. Their brother Kyle was stillborn. Yikes. Believing they were meant to have 3 children, Jack and Rebekah decided to adopt Randall, African-American boy born earlier that day and brought to the same hospital after his biological father abandoned him at a fire station. God, I've heard about that, right? Fire station or like a Walmart is a, typical quote-unquote joke. Jack dies when his children are 17 due to a heart attack from a fire. Rebekah later marries Jack's best friend. I don't know about that. Marrying the best friend. Ooh. I don't like that. Don't like that. Yikes. Randall becomes a successful finance professional and marries college classmate Beth. They raise 2 daughters, adopt a 3rd. Kevin becomes a successful actor while struggling to be taken seriously. Kate meets and marries Toby, career in music, gets a degree, becomes a mother. Most episodes feature a storyline taking place in the present and a storyline taking place at a set time in the past. Some episodes are set in one time period or use multiple flashback time periods. Kate lives in LA, Randall and his family are in New Jersey and later Philadelphia. And Kevin relocates from LA to New York City and back again. Okay, that's not... Their homes vary more widely. They all live in major cities. What? That would be more interesting if it was like Kate lives downtown LA, Randall lives in, a rural part of whatever, and Kevin lives kind of a suburb. That would have been more interesting to have it like split up like that. really give it some crazy differences. Because it is different when you live in those different areas. All right, let's look into Randall. Randall. The best friend story was wild, mainly because Kevin didn't approve, but in later seasons, their bond grows, and Miguel says he never wanted to replace their father, and they become good friends at the end. It was still beautifully written, though. Yeah. That is... Oy, that's wild. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever approve of that, honestly. That's real interesting. Let's see, Randall. My dad put on a tie every day because he had to. I put one on every day because I want to. It's important you to know that. Important for you to know that. Maybe I don't run into burning buildings for a living, but to me, my work is challenging and exciting. I will never apologize for the fact that it's hard to explain to people. All right, get to... I don't need that much past. I'm more of the present here. Randall and Beth get engaged. Takes several attempts, but Randall wins Beth over when Rebekah gives assurance that Randall will never let Beth lose herself in the relationship. I don't know about winning someone over to get engaged. They should want to get. That's tricky. It's tricky. I wouldn't want to be with somebody who's not excited about it, where it's just an instant yes. They have a backyard wedding. Now that's cheap. I like that. The average wedding, we looked it up on this channel. The average wedding was 20 grand. 20,000 US dollars. Ooh wee. Randall has his first nervous breakdown when Beth is pregnant with Tess. Tess is born, named after a ceiling fan. What? Miguel outlives Rebekah too, who dies of old age in the final episode as to go through losing his best friend and her. He took care of her as like a promise to keep Jack's memory alive. I see. But boy, does that seem slimy. It's just, I don't know. I don't know about that. Ooh, that gives me the creeps. His intentions might have been pure, but boy, just the optics are bad. Later, he reveals him as their biological grandfather. Randall and William catch Beth in a big lie. Look into Kevin here. Growing up, he struggles to be the center of attention because he feels his parents tend to focus their attention on his sister, Kate, because of her weight, eating problems, and his brother, Randall, since he is adopted. Okay. Starved for attention. He is a famous actor who starred in the sitcom The Manny, as well as many other film roles. That's kind of interesting. So he was starved for attention or so in his mind, and then he becomes an actor where he wants your attention. Kevin's the first to walk of his siblings. Oh my gosh, remember getting your big kid bed? That was such a big time. I love that. His intentions were pure, but you see it like Kevin did, understandable fully. But Miguel was a good guy, and on paper the story looked a mess. The way they did it was well. Well, that's good. Teenage Jack plays baseball. Kevin grows more arrogant and aloof towards his family. That's important. He is incredibly talented in playing football, and colleges begin scouting him. Kevin and Randall's sibling rivalry boils over during a high school football game. All Randall wants is the love and respect of his brother. All Kevin wants is to be left alone in his new basement bachelor pad. Oh. That kind of makes sense. Brothers typically have... I wouldn't... I don't know. I didn't have really a rivalry with my brothers. It was mostly just fighting for attention is what that was. A lot of fighting for attention. When you have multiple similar aged people in your family, it becomes like an all-out free-for-all. A bit of fighting, but nothing crazy. No like punches to the face or anything. Mostly wrestling, for being honest. Kevin shatters his knee and his dream. Oh boy. When he gets hurt during a high school game and told he'll never play again, the only one who can really comfort him is his dad. Jack tells Kevin if he could take on his son's pain for him, he would. He passes on the Buddhist necklace he got while in Vietnam. He explains to Kevin the necklace will help him find his purpose in one of the lowest points of his life, like it had done for Jack. Jack's last Thanksgiving. He and Miguel have a heart-to-heart about Miguel not giving up on being part of the kids' lives. There you go. Following his father's death, Kevin feels immense guilt for not being there to prevent his father from going back inside the house and for the fight he had with Jack the evening before. He never got to apologize. Oof. Yeah, that's rough. Kevin and Randall's growth was one of my favorite stories. Kevin even found Jack's surviving brother from when he and Jack were at war that Jack thought was dead. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. That is a great storyline. Honestly, that's probably the best storyline for me because it would probably be the most relatable, having brothers. Randall skips prom. Kevin helps Randall score a date with Beth. All right, that's big. Let's see. After his showcase, Kevin gets the attention of a talent manager who wants him to head to LA for pilot season. Kevin decides to go to LA and leave Sophie in New York. Randall warns him not to. Randall can't fathom anything coming between him and Beth. He doesn't know how Kevin can leave Sophie. Kevin doesn't take his advice. Well, it seemed to work out. He became an actor. He actually became an actor. Kevin cheats on Sophie and they divorce. Well, LA, everybody's, having fun with everybody else. Literally just a pool that they just rotate in. So he blamed himself for that. Kevin went to a house party when the house fire started, and Jack died when Kevin was wasted, so he never processed the death till he recovered, while the other two siblings and Rebekah saw it all happen, so he blamed himself for that. Oof. Was that enough for him to quit drinking, or did it make him drink more? Kate and Kevin decide it's time to get their lives together. For Kate, that means she's going to stop sleeping with married men. I mean, that's a good start, right? Eating fast food while sitting outside the old Pearson house and move to LA to live with her brother. All right. Kevin is going to join an improv group. Okay. Wow. That is made him drink more as he decided to let the guilt build up. Oh boy. Yeah, that could go one or two ways. Either you blame the drinking or you blame yourself. Kevin becomes an international celebrity. There you go. He was right to move out to LA. Then again, is he really happy? I mean, he left Sophie. And he cheated on her, so maybe that wasn't a big issue. Kevin breaks down on the set of The Manny and quits. Never mind. It sounds like he's not happy. Moves to New York City, stays in the basement at Randall's house indefinitely so they can try out the New York theater scene and become more than just the Manny. Finally calls Randall his brother. Wait, that entire time he hadn't called Randall his brother? Happens during a physical fight. There you go. It's all Randall has ever wanted from Kevin. Oh boy. Oh boy. There was even an episode where he saw his father as a ghost hallucination as a figure of his guilt. Oh boy, yeah. That at that point, it is eating you alive. And I'm sure the drinking was just adding to that, making it worse. Because drinking is what? A depressant. Ay, ay, ay. Of the three Pearson kids, Kevin's relationship with stepdad Miguel is the most fraught. Well, that kind of makes sense. He's the son of the family by blood. That kind of makes sense why he would not appreciate Miguel. Oh my gosh. This seems like a really interesting show. I like the concept, the fact that they go back and forth. The characters are really flushed out. You follow their journey throughout their entire lives instead of just a moment in time, which is what most shows are. And it seems like they deal with a lot of very realistic issues. Like stuff that we all kind of go through. Maybe not directly, but maybe we see somebody go through it we're close with. It seems very relatable. Super relatable, actually.
David, I've spent most of my life not knowing what right was supposed to...
Whoa. Not that. Not that yet. Context for Pilgrim Rick. It's a tradition Jack made in the past for his family. That Kevin let him have his moment since he came to respect him and saw him as family. It's a realistic image of life and most family lives. Yeah, I think so. Some families maybe don't have quite the amount of drama this has, because it does seem pretty drama-filled. But I think there's relatable storylines in all of this. Whether you're, have an adoptive sibling, whether you lose a parent at an earlier age than you're expecting. Certainly ED, eating disorder. Yeah, it definitely seems very realistic. It's very drama-filled, but the stories were realistic. Exaggerated sometimes, but it's a TV show. Right. They're gonna milk it a little bit because it's a TV show, but the concepts are very realistic, for sure. And you get to see the characters work through it, which is kind of interesting. You get the writer's take on how you get through it, how siblings help, how they don't help, how parents help, how they don't help. So it's very... sometimes it can be really good. One thing I really miss about television shows is the morals at the end of it. One thing I really, really loved about Boy Meets World is that it always seemed to end with like a good message, something for you to take with you, whether it was Mr. Feeney, like giving you a life lesson or something, or it was the teacher, I forget his name. Guy with like the mullet, like the big brunette guy who had a mullet. He would also have some good life lessons in there. I don't know. It just seems like TV was a little bit more wholesome back then. But I also think it kind of shied away from some things that maybe today we don't shy away from. But they did have some pretty realistic stuff back then. But yeah, I kind of miss that, good message that a lot of shows kind of left you with. Kevin went from one of my least faves to one of my faves. Now that's an arc. That is a great arc. And apparently that kind of did the same for Nathan in One Tree Hill. Because at the start, I'm just like, this guy stinks. I hate him. He's awful. But apparently he has a good redemption arc, which is wonderful. Let's go ahead and jump in from a word from our sponsor, me. All right. I never thought I'd hate a kid until I met young Kevin, but wow, his growth was beautiful. That's amazing. That's amazing. I'd say that's pretty, well, there's always that one kid that you're just like, I don't understand. It must be like a family thing or something, like somewhere that's occurring. Or that's like taught, or that's mimicking something they see. But it's great to see that there was a redemption arc there. Next on the list is Schitt's Creek. I think I've only watched or reacted to 2 Schitt's Creek videos, maybe. This one is entitled David and Patrick Precious Love for Charlotte. For Charlotte? Part of the title? I have no idea. Oh, no, it's not. Precious Love is the title. David and Patrick. I think I reacted to David before. Pretty sure. We'll check it out.
David, I've spent most of my life not knowing what right was supposed to feel like, and then I met you.
Yeah, I have seen David before.
Everything changed. You make me feel right, David.
I was so lost, didn't know what to do with myself. I was my own mistake.
Hold on. I think I love the sibling dynamic of This Is Us because they are as dysfunctional as some of my favorite shows, Umbrella Academy and those siblings. Yeah, Umbrella Academy seems very dysfunctional, but also they're trying to work together, right? Do greater things.
David, I've spent most of my life not knowing what right was supposed to feel like, and then I met you, and everything changed. You make me feel right, David.
I was so lost, didn't know what to do with myself. I was my own mistake.
Patrick, David,
I like this for you.
Like what? There's nothing to like.
Like what? There's nothing to like.
Maybe a little bit more fun if you just learn to trust people. Thank you for making that happen for us.
You can crash at my place tonight if you need to.
He sees you for all that you are.
Happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday.
You know, when you kissed me, that felt like my first time.
I am damaged goods. He's not into me.
Well, it's either that or he's really into the store, which, no offense, seems a lot less likely.
This very much seems like growing on somebody. Because it seemed like in the beginning he was just like, David was just like, oh, there's nothing to like there. And then eventually you spend more time with the person and you're like, oh, wait, there is some more there.
I've been burned so many times, I'm basically the human equivalent of the inside of a roasted marshmallow.
Nice to meet you, David.
I am happy with the life I've got.
I don't want to be anywhere you don't want to be.
I'm happy with you.
Sometimes it does work out. This is not nothing. So thank you.
Whoa, big change there.
Like I have when we're together.
I love your son.
My husband to be.
David, I promise I will make you so happy. I wonder what would have happened if we'd met in high school.
I love this song. Goes really well with
Our
it.
paths crossed at the right time. I love you.
So I say thank you.
David is my boyfriend,
I'm a lucky man.
and I've never been happier in my life.
Even though everything inside us is telling
That's
us
adorable.
to protect ourselves.
When you've got it,
Don't let it go.
Precious love, this is precious love, and it's teaching me to be a better man. This is precious love.
I do like those
I'm
couple
gonna kiss
shirts.
that
I
warm
think
looking
they're
face
funny.
of yours and call you my husband. This just felt like the perfect place to ask you to marry me. And that's the only thing that matters. You're my Mariah Carey.
Patrick Brewer, you are my happy ending. That compliment could bring me to tears. Are you sure?
Easiest decision of my life.
Yeah, Schitt's Creek is. I've heard a lot of good things about it.
This just kind of feels like one of those perfect moments that you dream about.
Obviously, this is a very romantic, heavy emotion edit, but apparently it's super funny. Like crazy funny. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original video. Go throw it some love. That was a beautiful edit. Stunning. Gosh. Love sometimes happens when you don't expect it, right? David was literally like, there's nothing there. There's nothing to this. There's nothing to us, etc. And then all of a sudden, there is. It's kind of the perfect way you want to go about it. You know, sometimes it works out where you're just infatuated with each other from the jump. Sometimes you start off as friends and you realize, oh, I really like hanging with this person. They seem very cool. And then you're just like, oh no, I like this person. And then you're like, oh no, I don't like this person. I love this person. It's amazing how that works. You go through this whole trajectory of emotion with someone. And before you know it, you're there. You're in love. You're in a wonderful situation. Hopefully it continues. You know, I've said it before on this channel. My dad's best advice to me was marry your best friend because you'll always have a special connection regardless. And I was just like, seems like an interesting way to think about it. Schitt's Creek is a Canadian television sitcom. I did not know that. I had no idea that was Canadian. Interesting. Created by Dan and Eugene Levy. Is that the Eugene Levy I'm thinking of? It is. Fantastic actor. I always think about him in the movie American Pie as the dad. We'll tell your mother we ate the pie. After that infamous scene with Jason Biggs and the pie. Consisted of 80 episodes over 6 seasons. Follows the trials and tribulations of the formerly wealthy Rose family when they are forced to relocate to Schitt's Creek, a small town they once purchased as a joke. I love that concept already. A little fall from grace. A little fall from grace. A little humbling experience. Eating some humble pie. I absolutely adore that. It's fantastic. Now living in a motel, Johnny, Eugene Levy. Oh, he created it and he was in it. Perfect. And Moira Rose, along with their adult children, David and Alexis, must adjust to life without money and with each other. I kind of like that. That is an interesting premise. The series was conceived when Dan Levy wondered how the wealthy families frequently depicted on American reality television would react if they were stripped of all their money. That is a great concept. I absolutely adore that. He further developed the series with his father, Eugene, before pitching the series to several networks, Canada and the US. Okay, so it started in Canada on CBC and then went to Pop TV? What the heck is that? I've never heard of Pop TV. The series appearance on Netflix after its 3rd season is credited with The Bump, aka the Netflix Bump. Received widespread acclaim, writing, humor, acting, several accolades. Wow. First Canadian comedy series to be nominated for a Critics' Choice Television Award for Best Comedy Series. For its portrayal of LGBTQ+ people, series won once, was nominated twice for a GLAAD Media Award for Outstanding Comedy Series. 72nd Primetime Emmy Awards. Wow. The series' final season swept all 7 major comedy awards. Holy crap. I'd say that's pretty successful. This concept sounds fantastic. It's like Dynasty, but reversed. Instead of Rich Family's Lives, it's a rich family turned broke. I love it. I love it. Synopsis. The wealthy Rose family video store magnate Johnny, his wife and soap opera actress Moira, and their adult children, David and Alexis, lose their fortune after being defrauded by their business manager. Boy, isn't that truth? They are forced to rebuild their lives with their sole remaining asset, a small town named Schitt's Creek, which Johnny had bought for David as a joke birthday gift in 1991. Imagine buying a town as a joke. That is hilarious. The Rosas relocate to Schitt's Creek, moving into 2 adjacent rooms in a rundown motel. As the family adjusts to their new lives, their well-to-do attitudes come into conflict with the more provincial residents, including Mayor Roland Schitt. Oh, come on now. Come on now. There's no way that was not written because of what it sounds like. And his wife, Joycelyn, and the motel's manager, Stevie Budd. Patrick and David met when the option to buy the former General Stores location came to be. David jumped at the opportunity because he wanted to create his own business, but he didn't know how to go about it. Patrick was in charge of potential businesses in Schitt's Creek and didn't know what to make of David's business plan. Yeah, Roland Schitt. That's amazing. Oh my gosh. He had no name or concise idea of what the store was, but Patrick didn't shut David out immediately. He gave David the paperwork to take home and fill out until he had a better understanding of what he wanted to do. That's very much the articles of organization and business plan. You gotta have a business plan. The name, what you're selling, what you're doing, what you're offering. When David had a better idea of what his business could be, Patrick changed his tune. Patrick told David that he could take care of the business side of things for Rose Apothecary if the two became business partners. Considering David never owned his own business before, he took Patrick's help, and the two embarked on co-owning Rose Apothecary together. Partnerships are weird because that can very easily turn into a pretty nasty splitting up of the business. Two different people, two different mindsets, two different directions the business to go. It can get messy, very messy. David's birthday rolled around, and Patrick wanted to celebrate. He asked David to dinner, which raised a small controversy because David and Stevie weren't sure if it was a date or dinner for friends. After seeing the gift on the table, Stevie knew that Patrick viewed the dinner as a date. He quickly left and let David and Patrick enjoy their night. On the way home, the two shared their first passionate kiss. Patrick, you know when you kissed me that felt like my first time. All the things they were supposed to feel, I felt them last night. David, well, if we're being honest with each other, this is the sort of like my first time too. I mean, it's not. I've kissed like 1,000 people. But nobody that I cared about or respected or thought was nice. So in a way, it's like we're both starting something new. Is that adorable or is that adorable? In the barbecue episode, Patrick and David celebrated 4 months of dating. David noted that the relationship was the longest he's ever had, but he has never been happier. Sadly, their relationship comes to a rocky state when Rachel came to Schitt's Creek to win Patrick back. David found out more about his boyfriend's past. Rachel and Patrick were high school sweethearts and were formally engaged. She ended up staying at the motel without realizing that Patrick was now in a relationship with David. Because of his new wave of information, Patrick and David took a break from the relationship. We were on a break. Patrick kept sending David gifts, which David appreciated, but that was not enough to start the relationship all over again. David eventually realized that he didn't want to be without Patrick, so they got back together. Little drama, tearing them apart. They find each other again. Classic. David found out that Alexis told Ted that she loved him. The first person David ran to was Patrick. At that moment, Patrick realized that that was the right time to also tell David that Alexis wasn't the only one in love. He was too. Patrick told David that he loved him, and David stepped out of the store to gather his thoughts. After talking to Ted, David realized that he was also in love with Patrick and that he should, for once, tell Patrick how he felt. Back to the store, and the two exchanged I love yous and a few tears. That is a beautiful moment. I don't want to keep reading because I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't seen it. And that is a lot of reading. But I love the fact that, it kind of started organically, which is so natural. Then they just kind of found their way to each other. Had a little bit of a rough patch there with, the past coming back to haunt Patrick. But found their way back to each other, which is always good. I've never quite understood going back to something. It ended for a reason, right? You don't just end a relationship or end interest in someone for the hell of it. Like, you're never just like, oh, let's see what this is like. It's always a reason, whether it's a big reason or a small reason or multiple small reasons that add up to a big reason. There's always a reason why you break up with somebody. But I don't quite understand why you go back. Maybe it's just familiar. Maybe it's just easy. Maybe you think it'll be different after you talked about it or whatever. Maybe it was poor communication. Now you've talked about it, so you're going to get back together and it's going to be great. But I never quite understood that because at the end of the day, something happened. There's some reason why you broke up. And you should probably just stand on that. And there's a lot of people out there, I'm sure you'll find something better. But it doesn't make sense to go back. And life doesn't work that way either. But I'm sure it works out positively for some people, maybe. But I don't know. I would rather find new than to try to renew something that ended poorly. I think that sets a weird precedent for any future relationship you might strike up again. That was an excellent edit. David and Patrick seem very well matched. The fact that Patrick had faith in David for the business and whatnot, I don't know. Business relationships and partnerships probably shouldn't be mixed because that could get really ugly. I mean, super ugly, honestly. What I learned about during my acting course at uni, my studies, and my extensive knowledge of acting TV shows is that people are allergic to communication, especially in TV movies. Communication is hard. When you have something difficult to talk about, it is hard to bring up, especially if you know how that person reacts to negative things or criticism, whether it's healthy or not. If they just go all in, like hitting you back, or super defensive, or no accountability, like everything I do is perfect, what are you talking about? It becomes way harder to bring up any sort of meaningful discussion that needs to be had. You just kind of shy away from it. You're just like, you know what? It's not worth the headache. But then again, you're going to start to grow some resentment. You're going to start to grow negative thoughts. it's kind of the beginning of the end. Unless you talk about it. But you just have to accept the fact that it will get gross. It will get angry. It will get mean in some instances. And you just got to do it. Just got to do it. The reason why Umbrella Academy siblings are dysfunctional is because no one talks, communicates. Yeah. Yeah, that's rough. When no one ever has the gall to bring up something. And it's just a silence off, and you're just sitting there, you know, looking at each other like, you could hear the thoughts in my head. Then because of that, the world basically ends. Oh, boy. Oh, on a smaller scale, you can apply that to relationships multiple times. Yeah, you can apply that to relationships for sure. It is, if you're not open or willing to talk about things that need to be talked about, you will fail. Because if something bothers you, it's not gonna, you're not just gonna talk yourself out of it like, no, everything's fine. We're good. We're good. Don't worry about it. It's gonna eat you alive, unfortunately. The next video is from the Killjoys. I can't remember if I've reacted to a Killjoys video or not. I don't think I have. Maybe I have once. It sounds familiar, but I can't think of anything. So it's called Dutch and Johnny, the Warrior and the Thief. Season 4, episode 10. Or I guess series 4, episode 10, depending on your lingo. These Killjoy links took me so long to find, especially this friendship. Well, you found them, thankfully. Thank you for that. It's going to be interesting because I don't know what that says about it. It was difficult to find. Maybe it just doesn't have as large of a following as some other shows. Let's go ahead and jump into that and figure out what the heck is going on.
The nights were long, and the days were deep. There lived a warrior. And the thief who was about to
I think it's a big following, but the show's very underrated from what I've read.
save her life.
Whoa! Whoa!
Johnny, why did he show you?
It wouldn't be the first time. We don't have to stay here. We can just fly away and never look back.
So you're not coming back yet?
That's...
And this is the part where I pretend I'm good with that.
I'm coming back eventually. But right now,
Complicated.
if you really need me, I'm there. You just say the word.
That's not fair. You know I won't. I'm sorry.
Miss you first.
Miss you most. And you're still missed.
You're becoming weak. Vulnerable.
I am not vulnerable. Don't you even look at him.
Oh, little bird. If I have to, I can do so much more than just look.
How's your friend? In worse pain than you. Please, he's running out of time. I was hoping I wouldn't have to use these anymore. But I guess running isn't the same as escaping.
Fuel and ready.
Did you think you'd start over? Have a normal life?
Who broke into Lucy?
Little bit. You can't. We can't ever be like them again. Johnny was my chance to try. He's not like us. He's decent. And he's kind. And you're gonna help me save him. I don't know how to be a good person. How do you tell someone that?
Doesn't matter because I wouldn't have believed you.
Stay safe. If you're worried about being replaced, don't be. You're irreplaceable to me. I love you, but you're an idiot.
I have a real feel for asteroids.
What's it with you and asteroids?
They're hard
Classic.
to secrets. Like you.
No more secrets.
No more secrets. There's a monster inside me, Johnny. And it's anger.
Dutch!
Hate. And you're the only one who stops it from coming out.
You don't have to do this. You can start over. We can both start over right now. Just take this first step. And I will take it with you. That's it.
I know.
When you are lost, when you are breaking, when you have no strength left to fight her, find John Jacoby. He is your true north, your only way home.
I love you, Dutch. You don't get to shoot me twice. That's not how teams work.
But we aren't a team.
Bullshit. What are we?
He's my friend.
Maybe you don't have those.
I've got my right-hand guy too. I love you, Johnny.
Hey, I'm right here.
You're my left arm. You're my gravity, Johnny Jacoby.
It's a handsome guy.
Closest to my heart. I've been so scared to lose you. I just want you to be happy. People who get close to me always get hurt. I'm not going to do that to you. You're my thing, Johnny. We're partners.
If you want to fight, I got your back. It'd be awesome.
Always am.
If you want to run, I call shotgun.
Say it one more time.
What?
What you told me the night we first met.
Oh, we don't have to stay here. We can just fly away and never look back.
Interesting. That's a great interpersonal relationship. Excellent edit. Link down below in the YouTube description for the original. Go throw it some much deserved love. Say it with me, folks. Trauma bonding. No. That is unbelievable. Beautiful edit. The song was gorgeous. Kind of went perfectly. I originally thought this was a couple when researching them, but then read into it without reading spoilers, but they are basically best friends who love each other unconditionally, which is more beautiful. Yeah, that rarely is the case. It's nice to see. It's good to see something else where friends are just completely in it for each other, supporting, loving, but in a platonic way. Very nice to see. So Killjoys is a Canadian space adventure television series that aired on Space, now CTV, Canadian television, sci-fi. Primarily science fiction. Follows a trio of hard-living bounty hunters. Okay. Interesting, interesting. Lasted 5 seasons. Series received generally positive reviews. It was nominated for several accolades. Killjoy follows a trio of hard-living bounty hunters, Dutch, John, and Davin, working for the Reclamation Apprehension Coalition, RAC. They work on a 4-planet, say that 3 times fast. They work in a 4-planet and moon system called the Quad, taking on warrants to apprehend people or property. RAC agents are given high authority by their agency. As part of their job, they swear to remain neutral in conflicts and owe no allegiance to any system, government, or other organizations. With their past coming back to haunt them, the trio will have to work hard to keep themselves and their friends alive. Yeah, that is extremely dangerous, being a bounty hunter. I have dyslexia, that's why I misspell stuff, even without autocorrect. It happens. It happens. My mom has dyslexia. I'm kind of used to it. Yeah, that is inherently dangerous work. So the fact that they would be that close, trauma bonding, they would be that close, is not surprising. I'm getting kind of Crows vibes with this. A trio working together, dangerous work. I don't know why I'm relating it to that, but it just, whenever I think of trio, I just think of the Crows, apparently. I like the fact that they have to remain neutral in all conflicts and no allegiance to anything. Dutch, a level 5. I wonder how many levels there are. Maybe 5. RAC agent with a secret history who was raised by RAC officer Kylan. Initially seen as a prisoner of the Hullen who mysteriously is physically identical to Dutch. Later revealed to have created Dutch from the green plant, which she also uses to control Hullen with her own DNA. That's crazy. Aaron. Oh, that's the actor's name. John, a level 3, later 5, so I'm assuming 5 is the most. RAC agent, Dutch's RAC partner of 6 years, and her best friend. He handles the technical aspects of their mission. All right, we got the tech guy. Yeah, I got that 5. It feels very Jesper, Inej, Kaz. Yeah. Dutch and Johnny feels like Jesper and Inej. Jesper and Inej have a very sibling, unconditional love friendship. Davin, Johnny's older brother, former soldier and indentured fighter, who becomes a RAC bounty hunter to join and help his brother. And Dutch. All right, so you got 2 brothers and then super close friends. 6 years. Could you imagine? Bounty hunting seems like one of those jobs I just would never, ever sign up for. I mean, it's interesting because you get to travel. It's very much how the military tries to get you in. It's like, you get to travel to exotic places. Yeah, okay. And I'm also fearing for my life. You left that part out of the ad. You get to travel around and do fun things. They don't tell you is the fun things could be extremely deadly. Second link I found talks about their friendship, I think. Bring that up here. Perfect transition. Why Dutch and Johnny's relationship in Killjoys is important. One of the key driving forces of the show, I'm sure. It definitely seemed like it. There are a lot of reasons why Killjoys is great. It's fun. It moves fast. There are sparks, space explorations, and an embarrassment of riches when it comes to great characters. But one of the central pillars of the show and the quiet driving force of the show's unique dynamic is the friendship between Dutch and Johnny. As they take on warrants and attempt to stay neutral in a system and political climate that makes neutrality an increasingly improbable proposition, Dutch and Johnny prove time and time again that even when they're not in the same scenes, taking on the same challenges, or even on the same planet, their friendship is the strong undercurrent that makes the world and the characters of Killjoys come to life. That's interesting. I wonder how the political climate really affects what's going on. Sounds like it really does. I'm wondering if that gets them in a lot of situations that they have to find their way out of. This season, we've seen something of a rift between Dutch and Johnny, courtesy of Johnny's involvement of Potter. But that rift has only served to highlight just how important the relationship is, even when it's not perfect. Well, it's never going to be perfect, especially when you're in a high-stakes environment like that. Not often enough on television that we get to see a male and female lead drive a show from a place of platonic friendship. That's true. It's a refreshing change of pace, and the unique dynamic between Dutch and Johnny is refreshing, and that it doesn't really feel like many other friendships on television. I get that. It's founded entirely on understanding and love, but there's never been any suggestion of romance between Dutch and Johnny, and it's hard to imagine that there ever will be. There won't be, right? Right? They have a brother-sister relationship that's been neutral and easy to understand from the outset. Dutch is fiercely protective of Johnny, and Johnny understands Dutch on a level that no one else seems to. Well, after spending 6 years with somebody, I would hope you'd be pretty connected, right? I think this article is a little old when the show was still on, but that gives enough detail to learn about their bond. Absolutely. Honestly, that's what we're after, right? We're trying to figure out what drives them together. The really interesting thing about Dutch and Johnny's relationship is that even though their scenes together are somewhat limited, really, and they're often taking on different parts of the story in any given episode, the relationship feels like the constant backbone of the show, even and especially as it changes. It's never needed any kind of heavy-handed exposition or terribly involved backstory. Their friendship is an essential element of the show and their unique and refreshing contribution to the landscape of friends in space. Is one of our favorite parts of the Killjoys universe. That is fascinating that you don't see that very often. I'm glad they showcase that because that is real life in a lot of ways. More I read, it's literally a mirror image of Jesper and Inej. Inej wanted to kill someone, and because of religion, Jesper said he would do it for her. Dutch and Johnny give that vibes, like when we saw Johnny prevent Dutch from killing that person. Yeah, absolutely. It definitely seems like an interesting dynamic. And the part that's really sticking out to me right now is as they're taking on the warrants and attempt to stay neutral in a system and political climate that makes neutrality an increasingly improbable proposition. That storyline to me is very interesting because I'm assuming that gets them into so much trouble trying to stay neutral and kind of like wade through the waters as they travel around trying to find these people. And you never know. They might be very powerful people they're going after. Some are probably lowly criminals or something. Who knows? But I'm assuming it gets them into some pretty crazy scenarios. Throughout its run, the series received generally positive reviews. First episode of the series received 286,000 overnight viewers in Canada. That doesn't seem like a lot. Charlie gave the show a very positive. If wanting to watch fun, quippy characters get into scrapes and survive by the skin of their teeth on spaceships and alien planets is wrong, I don't want to be right. Killjoys has just the right mix of guns, high-tech knives, assassins, cage fights, missions to hostile planets, dark secrets, tiny robot weapons, and general space headbutting thrills to be the perfect treat Friday nights. I mean, if you're into any of that, that sounds perfect. That sounds amazing. Noting others' negative reviews, she went on to state, "We don't need every television show to be True Detective or even Battlestar Galactica. One of the negative reviews was titled Sci-Fi Fun with Nothing Else to Offer, opining that, though enjoyable for sci-fi fans, it featured sci-fi archetypes that aren't bringing anything new to the table. An overly complicated fictional universe and was extremely light on depth and character intrigue." Which completely goes 180 from the article we just read. So, again, what's amazing about critics is they can come up with very different interpretations of what the heck they're seeing. Rotten Tomatoes gave the first season a score of 82 based on 17 critics. That's pretty good. And the series an overall score of 95. I mean, come on now. At that point, when it's that overwhelming, you got to take the negatives with a grain of salt. On Metacritic, the series has a score of 53. How is that so different? Good grief. So it's basically mediocre on Metacritic, but it's overwhelmingly great on Rotten Tomatoes. How? How is that possible? Most of these slightly lower budget sci-fi shows don't get a lot of viewers, especially on smaller platforms when they're normally on. Hence why it's underrated. Gotcha. Yeah, it might have been a small audience, but it might have been a fervent audience that tuned in every week. Also, most critic sites are a little biased to most shows, so take the ratings with a grain of salt. Yeah, I've heard that about Rotten Tomatoes, how they kind of pick and choose what they want to highlight. And they've actually especially with viewer reviews, they kind of limit the number of reviews given, and then they also limit the number of 1-star reviews given to try to skew the results, which is not good. Not good at all. I don't care if there's review bombing or not. Just let it be seen. People can make up their own mind. I do think I do take critics with a grain of salt. Also, other people reviews with a grain of salt. I think it's very subjective. I also firmly believe that there is silver linings to every piece of content. It might be bad overall, but there are instances where you can find really great moments. Some reviewers don't even watch it and just wing to review. Yeah, I'm not surprised if that happens. I would just say, look, people are going to have their opinions. You have an opinion, right? You have your own opinion. Make yours be heard. Leave a review if you want. And make up your own mind. Don't let other people tell you what you can and cannot like. That is, that's really unfortunate. Opinions are fair. It just annoys me when people are like, oh, you shouldn't watch this. I'm just like, I'll make my own judgment. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Never listen to anybody who says you shouldn't watch this. Don't watch this. You gotta make up your own mind. You have your own opinion. You have your own life experiences. You bring that with you whenever you watch a piece of content. Although, you know, I try to turn that part of the brain off when I'm watching things. I don't put myself in like the director's spot. I try to just absorb what I'm seeing through the lens of the director. But I mean, I guess it's kind of impossible to not process it with your worldview or your life experiences or whatever. But I think you owe it to yourself to always judge things based on what you feel, not how somebody else feels. Oh, it was on Sci-Fi. Yeah, that makes sense. It seems like a sci-fi show. The channel Sci-Fi, not that it isn't a sci-fi science fiction show. The Sci-Fi channel, the budgets were never great on Sci-Fi. Some of the shows were really interesting thought experiments, really interesting writing, but the practical effects, the limited CGI, most of them kind of came off a little cheesy. They just didn't put the money into it as they should have. Yeah, that's why I was referring to it being a lower budget, smaller platform. A little similar to what the CW became, yeah. Yeah, CW, I guess it all depends on how many viewers you get, right? Depending on what kind of budgets you have, what kind of production values you have, etc. Seems like an interesting show. I like the concept. I like the fact that there's platonic friends that are really protective of each other. That's fantastic. I mean, overall on Rotten Tomatoes, take it for, you know, what it's worth, but people seem to love it. So why not give it a shot? Hence why the value dropped in a lot of Arrowverse shows because, same with Riverdale, which is why I have to say I watched every episode and struggled as it was painful. Oof. Yeah. It's kind of too bad. Really, when I think about television shows, the great production values typically land on HBO in the US or, Netflix, of course. Amazon, I don't know. Amazon has money for days, obviously, but the writers that they've been getting have been trash. I don't know what is going on there, what they're doing with shows. Like Rings of Power should have been the most epic television show ever created. They spent $1 billion on the rights to it. How did it fail so miserably? Like, I don't understand it. Like, how could they let that go so mediocre? That should have been the most epic television show ever created. Period. Netflix, when they can be bothered, yeah. Sometimes Netflix hits it, sometimes they don't. But it really depends on, you know, who you have running it. Directors, writers. It all matters. You don't get that team just right, something about it's kind of lacking. Netflix makes great shows. The problem is giving them a chance. Yeah, very true. Very true. And then you have reality shows, which another throwback to our discussion on escaping into romance. Those reality love shows are just, I don't know what it is about it. It's like, it's addictive. I don't know why, but they've found the formula for it. Love Island UK is the one that I really like. That show is just chef's kiss for drama and relationships, and the people they bring on there are always interesting in some way. It's cringe at moments, but I don't know. Something about it is just fascinating to me. They moan about budget, yet they keep high budget crap. Yeah, and cancel shows that have high fan bases. Yeah, I don't know. We don't really get a lot of numbers out of Netflix. They're very secretive about it. So it's hard to know what exactly their decision making is. Like I don't know what their formula is for people that have viewed it, especially shows that end up in like the trending or the top 10 in whatever country you're in. It's like, why is this show getting canceled? And why are you keeping this terrible show that never gets in the top 10? Ugh, I don't know what their thinking or planning is on that. I know so much about the CW value, even though I don't have CW in the UK. I can just tell, especially in the last couple seasons of The Flash, for example. Yeah, CW was very hit or miss. Originally, their shows were pretty not great. Like, you could tell it was terrible post-production value. Then they started to gain an audience with some of that Arrowverse stuff, and I could see the shows going up. I could see the channel going up, the amount of people watching it, production value, the look of the shows. Obviously, nowadays, there's so much competition worldwide at this point that I think it's just going to be impossible to keep up really good standards, really good production values, budgets, etc. We're fighting for eyeballs. Even us lowly YouTubers and Twitch users, I guess, are fighting for eyeballs, and it is increasingly hard to find them. So I think shows are really going to suffer if they're not subscription-based. Arrowverse was great. The ending was very mediocre. The only one that deserved another season, just so it didn't get left on a cliffhanger, was Legends of Tomorrow. Yeah, I hate when it ends up on cliffhangers. It is an unfortunate reality. That was the 5 episodes or edits of the day. I hope you enjoyed those as much as I did. Gotta get going. I love how I'm ending this and the generator now stops. Come on now. I had to listen to that the entire time. ToddReacts.com. You can request your own edits for me to react to and for us to watch together. You can also check out the winter collection available right now. The summer collection starts June 1st. So be on the lookout for that. Follow the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ToddReacts. Follow the new gaming channel if you're into gaming content. Come hang out. Converse, and play some games. Todd Reacts Plays is the title for the YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Todd Reacts channel if you're watching this. Leave a like if you liked it. Throw on the notification bell if you want to be notified when those videos do get posted, or when the live videos start going out, you'll get notified of that. Obviously, you have to have notifications turned on for that to occur. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Luke, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the links. Jace as well. Thanks for the links. I shall see everybody tomorrow, Wednesday. Have a great rest of your Tuesday if you're watching this on Tuesday. If you're not watching this on Tuesday, have a great rest of whatever day it is you're watching this. All right, everybody. Take care. I shall see you on the next one. Always tough to end these because I want to keep going, but I got to get going. I got to get going eventually. See ya. Bye-bye.